Hey guys, we're back. As I said earlier,
What's
we're going to go over some things. Are there any protests going on right now?
I
We're
don't
going to go
know,
ahead and
man.
review that.
We'll have to kind of check some streams and see what's going on out there.
What up, guys? So, I'm going to change this real quick to mine. So what we're going to go over is some of the stuff that's kind of going on, like protests. There's a lot of protests going on right now, and Rose, I love you, Rose. You're always on top of it.
Always on the ball.
Always on top of it. Share this out. Let's get this out there, guys. We're going to go over. And let me kill that phone call that's ringing. But we're going to go over some of the stuff that's going on out there right now. Suni's going to join us at some point. I don't know when. But we already have some crazy stuff going on in Denver. We have New York City has some stuff going on, kind of Brooklyn area. Kenosha looked boring, like nothing was going on. And I shouldn't say boring because I don't want to encourage this mentality.
Boring is good. Yeah, boring is good right now.
Boring is good, but I don't want to be bored. I don't want to bore everybody. So if we can have some entertainment, it'd be fun too. But it looks like Denver's on top of it, and that's where we're going to start right now. At least they are protesting to protect white men. Facts. But so here's what we got going on right now. So here in Denver, shout out to, I can't even pronounce his name. This guy over here in the corner.
Yeah, this is Colfax, and we are right Twitch. Off the grounds of the Capitol.
He's down from the Capitol in Denver.
Not
and
we were pushed.
They were already popping tires. They were already doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Yes, Bob, we should be on the Be the Change YouTube page. Let me double check that. Make sure I didn't click the wrong one. Yeah, we are on Be the Change YouTube also.
The crowd is doing nothing.
But we're just looking to see if we can find anything and come up with what's going on. But Kenosha is kind of boring at the moment, which is good.
You know, one of the things I'm seeing here, Casey, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the police are out in force tonight.
Here we go. Check this out.
It's kind of a little difference.
We're not in the bad cities yet, which is
we haven't gotten there. We'll have to see.
There's supposedly stuff in Chicago that's going down, but I can't find any streams of it. And Misty, yes, that's the other thing that I'm trying to find is in the Northwest. Apparently in Portland and Washington is going down up there also. I know Portland specifically because Antifa Portland said for sure they will go and riot and cause some problems tonight if Kyle Rittenhouse is not found guilty. So I'm anticipating Portland, but I'm not finding anything with them yet. So if anybody's got streams to share, feel free, share them in the comments. I would love to actually get that stuff because I want to share it with everyone. Like, give these guys credit that's actually out there in the field. It's all them.
That is correct,
we are not actually doing it yet, but it's out in the field, and so these guys are out filming it. We got to make sure. And yeah, you clicked on it right as I did.
I just pulled up.
I have him on. I always have Steve on.
Yeah, we're monitoring pretty closely as many channels as we can.
Yeah,
to bring you guys kind of up to date what's going on.
So yeah, Citizen Stringer, like to give you guys some ideas, it's up on my TV up here. I have Steve on quite a bit. I like Steve a lot. There's some concerns I have with the BCP issue, but whatever. Where is this? This is in Denver. This is, whoa, they're already retreating? They pushed them out of the street and then they retreated?
So, I'll kind of speak to that. My hope, number one is I hope that people don't go out tonight and act crazy. It's just not necessary. There was a verdict that was handed down by a jury of 12 peers. You're not going to get more justice than that. So, I hope that nobody goes out and causes craziness, but as we're seeing, there are clearly people who are hell-bent on creating some sort of chaos.
No, absolutely. And we don't want to.
I was just gonna say what I hope we don't have is I hope we don't have the police back away and allow them to burn stuff to the ground, like we have seen, particularly last summer. When the lot was going on, that would be not the ideal situation. So, hoping we continue to see strong police presences. Gonna have to kind of play that by ear as it comes.
Yeah. This is interesting. Where did my New York feed go? I lost that link. I gotta go back and find it. I ran a video on Facebook in Washington that they are calling it a Gen Z protest with BLM. Bunch of young kids. Not a very big group in Washington from the video I saw. Good. I hope it's not.
Misty, would you mind sending that to us? You can either send it to the Be the Change chat, or if you want to just drop it in the comments, one of the two, if you have it.
It just now got crazy.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but what we're seeing on the screen here really bothers me, to be honest. They had an opportunity to control the crowd. They pushed them away to get them out of the street. And now they just gave all of these people what they're going to classify as a win.
Yeah.
And they're just going to get more excited.
So the cops,
is what they're going to do.
Snatched and grabbed like three people. Yeah.
Snatch and grab 3 people. So they arrested 3 people. Well, yeah, probably because they deserve it.
It's crazy to me that people think they can go out and do this and there's not going to be consequences. Although,
no, absolutely.
But what we do know is that the police allowed this basically to run rampant last year, and so I think people have a distorted sense of where justice is going to come from, and what we do not want to see is things turn into Kenosha 2.0.
No, we don't. We don't want to see anything of what happened in 2020, period. However, people actually need to see the real stuff of what's going on. Like, this is something that I should have mentioned in my last video, the short little 20-minute video that I did.
But yeah, if y'all
independent people with camera phones and stuff like that is what saved Kyle Rittenhouse's case. If we didn't have all of that independent media and all of those camera phones recording that stuff, Kyle Rittenhouse wouldn't have been able to make the case that his attorneys made. So props to them. And that's some of this stuff. I know some of these guys are anti everything. Hence, like, you see all the stuff from Russia and anarchy and all of that stuff on the screen, but props to people going out and actually filming this, because you actually made it better and you actually supported and helped the situation. Even though I might not agree with you on political basis, especially seeing some of the stuff on the screen here, but
some of these people should be the ones.
There was a video from New York earlier, Cindy. I got to find that link. I lost it. So give me a second and I will locate it.
Let me see if I've got it here, Casey. Jump here.
Over here.
Somewhere. Let's see.
Yeah, so this is Denver right now for everyone. Just so you know, this is what's going on in Denver. So Tracy, what Robin was saying, what Robin is saying earlier was BCP said something about Bruce Jenner, and BCP said some pretty rough stuff about Bruce Jenner, even though people might agree with him along that stance. But so overall, there was a separation with Citizen Stringer and PT News and BCP. BCP does it all on his own now. That's the whole difference. We're not going to relive that experience. They're mutually doing fine. They support each other. I appreciate both of them for everything they do. So it is what it is. It's just a separation. Whereas Sunni Robin, she should be coming. She should be here. She said she's going to come in and jump in. She has the link, but it's early morning. She was probably getting breakfast or handling stuff with the kids, so she'll join in and pop in a minute. This needs to be controlled. Our country is going to become a war zone. I fear that. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I do.
I think that's the big concern from every citizen is, at what point, is the line drawn. We hope the law enforcement was able to do that
transferred to Deputy Wilson's car. While I was in the car, when he was outside of the car, he was on the phone. He said something about, it's in chalk, something about us being cowards.
Can everybody hear this one? Can you hear that?
Is for cowards. So I find it concerning that the officer whose car I was in the back of identified with the people I was calling cowards. I'm calling white supremacists cowards. I was not calling police officer cowards. I told him that. That was when he began to backtrack and say, I get why you're out here. It just shouldn't be on the courthouse. That's a matter of opinion. Again, it says white supremacy is for cowards in chalk, a non-destructive form of political speech. So I have a ticket. The officer apologized for.
And FYI, this is outside the courthouse in Kenosha.
Cuffs on a little too tight. And that's all I got to say. White supremacy is for cowards, and chalk ain't that fucking bad. Oh, chalk is not bad. How much is the ticket for? The ticket is not bad. $767.50 for chalk because they destroyed property or something, which is it's crazy. Because I don't think I destroyed property. I think I wrote with chalk on cement a message of political speech on a political building. So that's just where I stand on that issue. I don't view it as destructive. I don't view it as vandalism because it can be easily taken away without having to pay people extra. In fact, it was written in chalk the other day. I don't know who did it, but I then saw a couple of Kenosha deputies come out and wipe it off themselves. So again, I didn't damage any property, and I was just using my free speech to say that I stand against white supremacy in all its forms.
Well, where was white supremacy, you dumb freaking girl? Like, can anybody tell me? Point out where white supremacy is when Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 white people.
I have no idea how long I am staying here. I don't plan on occupying the zone. I like my bed. I'm very blessed and grateful to be able to have a place to go home to. So I will be excited.
I'm glad they gave her a ticket.
Oh yeah, she won't do that again.
No.
What people should take away from this incident is the police against someone who is fighting against white supremacy, against someone who did not destroy property, did not hurt any human person, were violent towards me.
Violence towards you.
This is clearly somebody who has no idea what happened in Kenosha.
I was calling white supremacists.
Not a clue.
And I find that concerning
or understanding.
Of Wisconsin. And anyone who wants to complain against Judge Schroeder, as I do, can email judcmm@wicourts.gov. It's not an official complaint. You have to do formal paperwork, but you can send an email. He did not allow evidence that is pertinent to the defendant's character. Not only that, but he very much so, very publicly on live camera said he doesn't understand technology. And in this day and age, if you don't understand technology, you shouldn't be advising anyone on it, especially as a judge in that capacity. And any judge that doesn't allow relevant evidence for someone's character who's on trial for murder, any judge that does that deserves to be in question. And I invite anyone and everyone to file a complaint against Judge Bruce Schroeder. I am a Marquette graduate, and I was disheartened, disgusted, but not surprised that he went to Marquette Law University way back in the day. So today is not a proud day for Marquette University. He has disgraced the university that I went to, that I faced racism against, and I just hope people stand up and try to get people like Judge Schroeder out of power.
So did you get arrested or no?
I was detained.
Yeah, of course, because you probably acted a fool.
And given a ticket, a $700 ticket for
There's two things people should understand about this judge.
On a building.
First is that he was appointed by a Democrat, and second is that he was elected by a strong Democrat.
Is this still up there anymore? Even?
Rub it off.
Yeah, I thought someone just wiped it off already. I was like,
a message of political speech on a public building. And I got a $767 ticket. I was on the curb. The officer wanted me to go over with him to see what was on the courthouse. I invited him to go see it himself and come back to me. That was when another officer rolled up, immediately just put me in cuffs. I did not resist at all. When the officer initially approached me, was asking me questions. Like, did you write what's written up there? I was like, no.
CJ, thank you for your life.
She is. Thank you for leaving.
No, really?
She is on meth.
Part of how I saw her.
I'm
I was watching her live stream and I was like, I need to get to the police station.
Oh,
She's getting
snap.
arrested.
What the world?
oh, you're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Appreciate all your coverage too.
Thank you for coming out.
Been a lot. Oh, I mean, I was not planning on. I don't come out normally at daytime. The daytime marches.
What in the freaking hell? So
I hope that when she shows up at court, that the judge says something to the tune of, "You know that being ignorant to the facts does not make you right," which is something that came up in the Rittenhouse trial specifically. Ignorance is not a defense.
No, it's not.
It's a relatively hefty ticket too.
Well, she deserves that ticket. I don't really care. Using chalk and writing on a federal building, I don't really give an F. You deserve what you get. You deserve it. But she's not the only one. Earlier on tonight, before we went live, there was another person that wrote a whole bunch of Judge Schroeder must go. Yeah, I think is what it said. They wrote that on a bunch of walkways around the courthouse, and it's like, whatever. Like, you people.
So, no, we're not pretending.
All right, well,
just
that's
to be
probably
clear,
gonna happen anyway.
we understand this very well. This is exactly what we're pulling
They moved
out.
me real quick.
This is manufactured anger.
Thank you again for everything you're
Oh,
doing.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming out
Doing
talking. Yeah.
multiple
Very
people.
heavy lefty-leaning media.
Yeah, like this is just ridiculous, man. Like, but it looks like Kenosha is most active at the moment. We have now Oakland, so we got the West Coast coming online. Let me go find that feed. But we got protests in Oakland right now going on, so let me go and find that.
It's really incredible to watch these people talk. I mean, this is what grade do you learn to cite your sources? And like starting in like the 6th grade, 7th grade, and you do book reports. It's pretty common. I mean, you got to cite your sources. And unfortunately, if you were to cite any of the large media companies right now, almost unequivocally, you'd be wrong.
Right.
You would get failing paper.
And Jessica, this is CJTV on the right, by the way. This is his stream. You can see the comments, the stuff on the screen here that we're just restreaming what he's got going on right there. So props out to him for getting this out there and being there, so we can actually see what's going on.
Are you in the East Bay of Oakland or San Francisco? 976. Where are you at?
There's also a protest going on in LA, which is a shooting of Alex Flores, I think is the name. I got to look into that. Apparently it happened on Tuesday. And so that's what they're walking to in LA right now. And so I got that stream. We'll probably switch to that here in just a second.
Yeah, Matt, we were just kind of on Denver a couple of minutes ago. It looked like they were kind of pushing people out to the side, trying to get some semblance of order. We saw the police, I think, arrest. What we heard was 3 people. So we'll check in on that here pretty soon. Ooh, Casey, what are you getting us into here, bud?
The Denver stream ended. That's what I was pulling up, is the Denver stream.
Gotcha. Okay.
Dang it. Let me go see what in the world is going on with that. My stream I had for Denver. That's what I was pulling up.
They may take these things down periodically, so.
Oh yeah.
This
guy. This guy. I love this guy. He's an attorney, supposedly. Let me go live. This guy on the right with the glasses is a supposed attorney. He spoke after the verdict was called. He was part of the speech and everything after the fact, and he was saying that all of this is white supremacy and racism and all of that garbage. Like, it's just, Anyways. By the way, this is Mercado Media, as you can see down here in the corner. Shout out to Mercado Media. He was more of a liberal mindset last year during the riots and stuff that going on. But he has moved more to be more of a libertarian right now. He even admitted that in a video earlier today.
Matt, thanks for the subscription, Matt. Hey, you know what? We cover as much of the current news that we possibly can. Go back, look at some of our other media. You'll see that we cover a lot of conservative specific topics, but in the context of the general world. So thanks for subscribing, but check out some of our other media too. We're kind of on this tonight specifically because of the potential connotations of the verdict that came down. And so we really want to cover kind of what's going on, since there's been some threats and some promises, I guess we'll say, from some of these more hate groups. So we'll see what happens, but we kind of want to bring it to you live and give you some context around what's going on, because I think you're going to hear a lot of the same opinion that was given by the young lady who was given a nice big ticket. Do we have audio for this one, Casey?
Is the audio not playing?
It's either really low or not playing. Yeah, no audio on the video.
Eat the same slop.
I found it.
Still
The screen got muted
because of your skin color. So now in your mind, subconsciously, you think that is a superior piece. Yes. But the fact of the matter is that we're all in the same boat. Now, wait.
Audio now, though.
Let me finish. I'm finna get it. Wait. I'm not talking about your belief. I'm not talking about you. I'm just pointing at you, and I'm using you as a talking stick. Okay? My no disrespect. This is what I'm saying. When we're here and we're saying no justice, no peace, right? Because we never had a chance to have rest in this country. There's never been justice for us, so there's never been peace. Now, when we lay down, like I'm from Chicago, when I lay down in certain areas in Chicago before I end up climbing up the ladder, I had to worry about bullets flying through my room, through my window and stuff like that. But that's not your fault, right? It's not your fault, but it is systemic. It is systemic. That's right. We're all slaves of the systemic, of the system. Now, anybody born after 1964, after the Civil Rights Movement, anybody born after that is a slave of the 14th Amendment. Why? Because it's the reconstruction of the Constitution. What does that mean? That means that we are all born as persons. And what is a person defined in law? It means that you are chattel property. So that means that whether you believe that you have white privilege or not, you're still property in the eyes of the system. That's why 99% of your wealth is controlled by governments and everything else, and you only get the short end of the stick. Now, you do get some benefits, like you're 150 years ahead of the so-called African American, because economically, you're 150 years ahead. So this is why they're
I'm going to throw some context in real quick, guys. What he's talking about specifically is like social security numbers, and the difference between the government and the corporation of the United States. I don't agree with what he's saying necessarily, but that is kind of the context he's kind of pushing here. There's definitely an argument to be made for it, but it's not.
Okay, my grandfather.
It does not disparage against any individual specifically.
Your whole family fought in the war. That's absolutely great.
Looks like we have stuff going on in Boston also.
The people over there that were subjugated by provocateurs that went into their land, those missionaries that went into those, in the name of justice, in the name of freedom, that you're fighting for your country, but you're going over there to perpetuate more injustice, more subjugation, more murder, bloodshed, rape, killing, murder.
Oh, rape, like Rosenbaum that you were saying was a hero a couple hours ago. So Rosenbaum that raped five boys between the ages of 9 and 11. That you want to talk about rape, but you're saying it's a racist issue. But no, Rosenbaum was white, bro. Like, stop being so damn ignorant.
Something about the European race. I'm gonna give y'all something.
But the history is the history.
Right, history is the history. Well, let me give you a real important history factoid. Guess what? European. You all identify as European, Indo-European, European, some kind of way, right? You're European descendants, correct? Correct? Right? We can agree to that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now look.
Wait, what? They can't be South African?
No, wait. European is not a nationality.
A lot of white people in South Africa.
Well, look,
If you ask me what the box I check, I don't even check one.
No. I'm going to give you an important factoid that's going to open the eyes and knock off the head of white supremacy. Check this out.
Open my eyes.
European. Let's go to the etymon. Comes from the root word Europa. Europa is a Phoenician goddess. We're talking about an African goddess that the European race is named after. Let's talk about it. This is a fact. Look it up. Europa is a Phoenician goddess. Those are the people that's more common to the people of Noah in the Bible. They were Phoenicians. Those Phoenicians are what you call African people from all the
This is an attorney that is very good friends with the Jacob Blake
even before
family.
it became a continent, before Europe became a continent, it was on the tail end of Africa before they changed the map and put it on top. So that means that you're African descendants as well. So when you talk about white supremacy, it don't exist. It's a figment of our imagination. It's what we call systemically, it's a systemic regime. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, we're fighting against who for what? We're fighting about classism. It's not about racism. Because you look like that, I'm going to tell you why you look like that. Your people came from the Rinaldi tribe of Africa, was driven into the Caucasus Mountain, and you stayed there for 15,000 years, and you became genetically recessive, phenotypical, and you emerged with pale skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, because in Africa, wait a minute. It's nothing wrong with that, because you're African. But listen, let me tell you why. Look. When you in Africa, the sun is beaming down on you, right?
Yeah.
The sun is beaming down on you. Oh, wait. I'm breaking down genetics right now.
This is incredible. He's making an argument for supremacy, no matter how you break it down.
When you are in Africa,
really wild.
Right? The sun, we are children of the moon, children of the sun, right? The sun feeds you. So that means that because the heat is trapped in the back of your neck, so that means that the demographic, the climate demographic of that environment is going to make you have kinky hair. So the sun can not make you hyperventilate. Wait, but if you're in a cold climate, you're going to have to protect the back of your neck and trap the heat. That's why you got long and straight hair. Now, the nose that I got is big because I want that air to get into my nose to cool my brain down if I'm under the sun in 115, 20 degrees, right? So my nostrils are big. But if you're in a cold climate, your nostrils are going to shrink and your nose going to get narrow. Your brain going to swell and your head going to get narrow. Now, look, this is why you look the way you look and I look the way I look. That means that we're still African. So at the end of the day, we're the same people. We cannot continue to let these racist regimes come into our environments and divide us classically.
And that's what I mean by elevating.
Absolutely. It's calling together. But wait a minute. We got people that believe because they got.
What is it, Eric? There's a word for it. I can't think of it right now. I even tried to look it up and I can't find it.
Right, and don't forget,
this guy is doing it. He is just overwhelming with information to the opposing party that has a different view, and he's just throwing information at them constantly. Won't let them respond.
Okay,
this is a classic bully pulpit technique.
So let me finish.
In debate, this is not something they would allow because he's making points that he will not allow for people to contest. Now, it's interesting where he's going with this. Some of what he's saying has some factual basis, but the way that he's interpreting it and relaying it in the context of today is wildly inaccurate, to say the least.
But because the melanin has been stripped because you have to survive in the Caucasus Mountains. You had to survive in the Caucasus. So your black genes stripped because God wanted you to survive for a particular reason. So that means that you got a reason on this planet. We got a reason on this planet. Why not be peaceful and think about how we work together to improve the quality of living for all people and not just some? You get what I'm saying?
Anybody got a binky? Can we give him a binky? Will that help?
Yeah, the man's missed it. He needs some milk.
That's the fact.
Give this man some milk.
You're assuming from the start point that I'm not.
What's interesting is he's yelling at
I've been
a white guy.
doing the listening part.
Seemingly just being
I've been doing the listening part of this, you know, and like
I don't understand. You know, if we're truly progressing in society, these kinds of conversations don't make sense.
I absorbed that, and you know, I might sound like I was personalizing it, and I truly wasn't. Though, I mean, it may look that way, but I wasn't. But I appreciate everything you said. But at the end of the day, like, where my interest is yes, we have to learn from the history, and it's important to know the facts of the history, like the true history, not what people want you to think or what people want you to tell you that how everything evolved. The real truth, because if you start from a lie, everything is a lie.
Well, you know, the conquerors write the history of the country, so you don't get the real history in school.
So what I'm getting at is like we need to like get to a point where
it strikes me that this man is making an argument for CRT.
Hundreds of years. But we got to find where that common, it could be something real small to where you find a common ground with somebody, and like that mustard seed will grow into whatever you choose to evolve that to with that person.
Okay, so
you know
how do we do that though? We elevate through recognizing injustice.
And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm recognizing everything he said.
Okay.
And you know, and some of the things he said, I did not know.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? But I absorbed it. I absorbed it.
That's actually important.
And I'm
What up,
I'm
Sunny?
gonna do my own research also.
We got an apologizer here.
Because why would you just take one person's word? You know what I mean? Especially in this day. But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly
He's
what
trying
I'm
to teach world education as though it's U.S. history, and this is again, guys. I'll just disclaimer this. This is what CRT looks like.
And like I can't.
This is an awful lot like CRT.
Empathy
is
everything that's happened to anybody.
You can't be an American. You have to have some lineage that's connected to something that doesn't make sense.
And like
the era in which you live.
The approach in the conversation. You know, like if you come to a certain point, like I don't mean to point you out, but like you say, I don't understand. You are not on my side. Like that can to a certain person, it's like you're telling me where my starting point's at, and I haven't even spoken.
Okay, respect. I respect you. You called me out on my bullshit. But when we came up here, we were talking to these other two gentlemen.
Oh, I'm not disputing that. I'm talking
but
right here.
I'm glad that you're listening, though. I'm glad that you are.
I can't learn if I don't listen.
But okay, but what I want to say to you right now is that I want to elevate. We all want to elevate with you, right? But we can't go up if we haven't even looked at the wounds that are still impacting us today. Wait. I just want to mention something real quick. The 13th Amendment that freed us, right? It says that unless you are duly convicted of a crime by the state, you cannot be a slave. So that means if you're a criminal, you can be a slave. And I don't know if you know the history of this. Look it up on Netflix. It's called 13th, really easy to remember. And it goes from slavery and to how the system that is holding so many of our people away from families and job opportunities.
See,
Wait, let me finish, please.
Call it our people, because he's saying we're all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't slavery kind of like a world economy?
Okay, all right. Let me rephrase.
Africa.
Let me rephrase.
Emphasize.
The people who look like me and have my experience and the black experience, not the African experience, the black experience in this country. Because wait. Let me finish, my guy. Because of why did we come to this continent? And then when they decided to change their mind on that decision, the 13th Amendment was put into place so that when black people are criminalized, they can be profited off of. Once the Civil War was over, the Southern economy was completely destroyed. They needed people working in the fields. They had women, and if their hair was out like this, they could be put in jail. If you didn't have proof of employment, you could be put in jail. But why? Just to put them back on the fields. Now, fast forward today, just last year in 2020, I know these numbers are kind of approximating, okay, so don't quote me, but some of the prisoners in New York were making bottles of hand sanitizer.
We know, Deb. There will be more. There's others. We already covered Denver. There's other stuff going on in Oakland and New York.
$6 maybe, right? But the prisoners
don't quote me, she says.
Hand sanitizer because it has alcohol. We completely dehumanized, profit off of, put these people in cages and then expect them to come out into the world without any resources. And that system of mass incarceration.
How about they don't commit a crime? Like, I don't know.
Police brutality.
Yeah, follow the law.
Jacob Blake was shot in the back 7 times after he tried to break up a dispute between 2 people.
Lies.
Walked back to the car to his kids. He was shot in cold blood.
She's
7
lying
times.
like a motherfucker.
And that is why people were out here, and they died for that. They died for that, and the person who killed them will live to see another day outside
Jacob
of
Blake is not dead.
any prison in the state.
No, he didn't.
My response to that would be,
we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yes.
My response to that would be, though, is also how I feel like personally is that this is much bigger.
My opinion, this guy needs to grow a pair.
This is a huge issue for this community, this town. Exactly. Exactly. But
it could have did something.
It could have. But for you,
let's
it
do
didn't,
something.
correct?
Let's do something then.
No, I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm asking you. Ask me a question. I'm asking you for you.
Is this a victory for you?
No, not a victory. There's no one won in this situation.
Get a fucking gun and gun down anybody with an AK-47 that they don't know the power of. Just go out here.
He did not have an AK-47.
I'm like, can anybody point out a shooting with an AK-47? Because last time I remember, everybody's pointing fingers at an AR-15.
In the language, it's like,
Can you try to listen? Can you just try to Can you try to open your ears up to a different language?
Can you try to open your ears? What the
fuck? Kill someone or kill them with my bare hands. Look at them dead in the eyes when they're dead and gone. Is that anyone was a monster? If they did something monstrous to my sister, I would absolutely rip their eyes out.
I can't take you serious with your green hair.
She said she would rip their eyes out.
Okay,
turn up your mic a little bit, Sydney. With this audio in the background, we can barely hear you.
How about now? Is that good?
That's a little better. I also turned down the audio a little bit on the stream.
But this isn't just a one-time thing.
I didn't say nothing about that. I did like that's what I'm saying. It's like the starting points. Like I can't go nowhere with that.
But that's not.
I can't go nowhere with that.
So listen. Anger is being misdirected. You shouldn't be the better.
You're not helping anyone.
But you kind of.
Notice it's the white girl losing her shit. Yes, thanks, Christine. Share it out, guys. We're going to cover this for a little while.
Is this
Oakland, New York? This is going on right outside the courthouse in Kenosha right now. That's what we're watching.
Does anybody see the similarity here between you gotta kneel and give credence? Like, you remember that was the whole thing, is you gotta kneel and admit your sin. Is anybody getting those vibes right now?
still talking. Let's get somewhere because we have to learn.
We're not even talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. These are the protests.
I appreciate everything you said.
Sorry, I'm
you know what's
here.
interesting? You know what's interesting? I'll just go to both of you. Is what are they trying to achieve?
Now we have to also
This man has said, "Okay, I get what you're saying." He's apologized for apparently being who he is. I agree with Casey. He needs to grow a pair. But what is the? Is it not fair to say that this is an act towards supremacy? Is that not what these? Is that not what this individual is essentially pushing towards? I don't know.
Nobody. You know what I mean? The majority of the people out here, because everybody can feel your spirit and feel your energy. You know what I mean?
All right, guys, I'm looking up to see if I can find that Denver stream because I'm seeing stuff going on.
Give me a hug, bro.
I'm trying to find another one that we can actually pull up and go over. But the other thing to cover, hang on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Australia is having huge protests today because technically it's Saturday for them. So Saturday morning, they have some huge protests going on. That is, they're standing up to fight. Let me pull this up here.
This comment resonates right now. This is
loud noises.
A little anchorman. Yeah, loud noises.
True, it is true. Let me pull up this one. This is Portland Andy, I think. Yeah, Portland Andy. He's covering a lot of the protests from Australia, but he also has, as you can see, Kenosha down here.
Has to convince people not
can you hear that audio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who are convinced. What do you say to people who are afraid of you and your?
But all the daytime stuff you're seeing here on the left and up in the middle on the top, that is from Australia. They're having big protests. This is what should be done in America for vaccine mandates, COVID stuff, all of it. They're uniting together and actually doing something about it. So shout out to Portland Andy for covering this. You can actually see Australia standing up for what they believe in. And that is what we should be doing here in America. Standing up for what we believe in.
Cheese wedge, cheese wedge, cheese wedge, cheese wedge, cheese wedge, cheese wedge, cheese wedge.
So it's a lot of cheese wedges we got going on.
Yeah, it reads off the message, and I see him in the chat here. There's a lot.
Glass of milk, glass of milk, glass of milk, glass of milk, glass.
Yeah, we're muting that for the moment. But it's kind of crazy. Like if we look at some of these other countries that don't have the rights that we have, and the freedoms that we have, they're standing and coming in more unity than you see in America right now. Like look at this bottom picture. Let's go out this way. This is the bottom left-hand corner of the stream here. Look at how many people are out there. They're fighting against the vaccine mandates and COVID stuff. They're protesting against it in Australia. That's how America should be doing it. Showing up in a huge, huge presence everywhere. Everywhere.
And we could take a lesson from this. Look at how peaceful these crowds are. Oh man. But if you look at some of these larger crowds, particularly the Australian crowds and stuff, these people are not out there being violent, but they are concerted in their effort to make a change. And this many people gathering in a place to be in unison, whether wherever you fall on the spectrum of desire from a medical standpoint. I mean, we could take a page out of their book and say, you know what? It doesn't take violence in order to make things happen. What it takes is unifying on specific topics and then being willing to gather in public spaces. And so the question, that some people have asked, well, how do we, we need to, or how do we do this? Is we have to collectively stop being afraid to gather in public. And I know that is kind of the objective. Between 6 feet of space and all of these other things that they're doing, but what's the cost penalty? It's gigantic. So it may take a large groups of people saying we will not be fed that way. Now we do have some pending litigation on the medical side for that kind of stuff and mandates that are coming that way. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of that gets resolved in different ways. But when it comes down to it, protesting is an important part of historical events that changed the way that the country views things. But violence almost never begets anything but more violence, and so that is the difference in protest versus riot. And we have the ability to do this. It takes a tremendous amount of people saying I'm gonna do it and participating in a way where that if you're going to have people in the crowd that are going to agitate or whatever, there are people who are aware and can kind of mitigate.
But that's the concept.
Agreed. And Suni's backstage. She'll be here in a minute, so no worries. She's still around.
Look at I'm a patriot.
And did Australia lose their arms around a year ago? No, that was New Zealand. That was the shooting at the church in New Zealand. They all turned in. A lot of people handed over their guns to the government. Australia lost their right to bear arms pretty much a long, long time ago. Some of them still believe in it. Very few, though. Most of Australia is anti-gun and anti-weapon.
Yeah.
Even a knife, like my pocket knife I carry with me, that people frown upon that in Australia.
They did buybacks in the 90s that were very popular in Australia, and that was kind of their first movement towards gun right or gun control. So it's a great question, and I think that part of history gets overlooked because we assume that our Second Amendment will always be intact. And what we're seeing right now is a tremendous attack on it, but it's like death by 1,000 words kind of a deal, right? Like, or death by 1,000 cuts. They're not going to come to your house and show up, I don't think, to take a gun away. But what they are going to do is paint such a dirty picture that society will change their mind. And that's really, that's one of the things that I'll comment on. I've said this before about, specifically the trial that we saw and the outcome that we got is that it semi restores some faith in the judicial system to hold up our rights and freedoms. It's just one case. It's not the end all be all. They're still pushing this very hard, but I'll kind of make the argument for people is to understand is that it's representative of a larger cause. And whether or not this one case makes a tremendous difference, I can't tell you. I can tell you that from a case law standpoint, it's important that way. But in the grand scheme of things, they're not changing their tactic, and so people need to be very acutely aware of what's going on around them. And Australia, I think, is a relatively good example. They offer buybacks. Society has changed. Their belief system has kind of followed order. And then you have 10 years later, and Australia is not as free of a country as it once was. And then you go 10 years further into distance, and here we are in an element that is very interesting to see. So I just kind of wanted to bring that to some attention. Is what they're after here is much bigger than just one court case, and it's kind of death by 1,000 cuts kind of a deal. So if you're watching what's going on, understand that pitting these different things against each other, whether it's race, whether it's class, whether it's money, haves, have-nots. The objective all is in the same category. Tries to end, I think, in the same position.
Today, this is next week, next month, next year. This can't stop.
No, exactly.
Sorry, I'm still here. I'm trying to find some the other streams so we can check out what's going on. Like, I want to get back to Denver. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff on Twitter about Denver, but I can't find anybody that's live right now showing it. But I'm seeing all kinds of new videos coming out.
Suni, you went down. The crowd said, "Where's Suni? Like, bring Suni back." They like you better than us, I think, is what they're getting at. But
you're right. I doubt it.
And that doesn't mean go up to everybody and
now I gotta prove it. Now I gotta go back in the comments and find it.
Exactly. Every single person I see, it's just that you're giving me another
Misty, will you do me a favor and just send that to the Be the Change chat on Facebook, and then we can click on that link, please?
Come on, we can never experience what you've been through. Well, we try to understand. That's what I'm trying to understand by listening. I can never experience it.
Trying to find more of that. The more of the streams that's going on, like these ones are in Kenosha. This one's in Kenosha. I have a couple different angles of the same conversation that's going on. Not super exciting, but at least it's a good conversation. People are actually having conversations, which is good.
Every single box on student loans, housing, job employment, this, that, and the other thing, there is that question, are you a felon? And that's why we have labels. That's why we have to say white, black, this, that. Because then, if we don't see that, we don't recognize
Proof.
And again, if we can't address it,
She don't even want to look at the screen right now. See, here it is. People said you gotta come back. They're sick of us.
I don't know.
There's 100. What's that? 400. There's 143 people. 4 people like me here. Everybody else hates me. I already know.
What's funny? You mad? You mad?
Ah!
Yes, Clay.
Yes,
Clay. Sharing of the car. She just wants to make them
I appreciate
I don't know if you saw this, Casey. Let's see. Misty put this in the comments. Let me see if we can pull this up real quick.
I really appreciate the community that's here that has taken the time to listen to this conversation and learn something from it. Well, thank you guys for reacting with empathy and with understanding rather than.
That's what I'm trying to pull up right now. I'm typing it in. I was typing it in. And of course I messed it up. It's one of the problems. Because we can't really click on that link is the problem. Okay, let me go back to this again. So, Illinois was being looted earlier. I could never find any Chicago area. Could not find any streams there. Boston was going nuts a little while ago, but I don't see anything anymore up there. I wonder if we're just moving to the West Coast. LA still is going on from what I can see, but I can't find that stream.
Can I just say that I was right? That there would be no craziness.
Just wait until Antifa Portland gets out. But
It could be a little wild. You know, Anthony, thank you for this comment. This is what we were. I think we're all hoping for is that the temperature is calm right now. Disagreeing is fundamentally what makes this country great. But I do hope that this is just small pockets and absolutely is something that is a.
That's what I'm trying to pull up right now. I'm typing it in. I was typing it in.
You hope.
Perfect. So then how do you feel?
But what I'm saying is like when you get personal, it's like this is his like.
Ooh, look, we have someone that just popped in the background here. Should we let him in?
Oh, he's too white.
What does that flag mean to you now? That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be.
I mean, we could just.
You guys are gonna get me canceled with all this whiteness on the screen.
I am Native American according to my law school applications, so.
Oh, okay. So you're related to Elizabeth Warren. So what are you, 132nd Cherokee?
Yes, actually, I think we share 1,024th of the same grandparent. Hi, everyone.
What up, dude? You should be downtown in Denver right now. You should be our boots on the ground in Denver.
Why are you jabbing at me?
I left home at 6 a.m. this morning, and I just got back about 30 minutes ago. So I'm not going down to Denver, although I should. Why is Denver protesting? I'm not joking. That's probably 3 of the 13 black people that live in Denver right there.
No, this is Kenosha.
Okay.
This is in Kenosha, but Denver is protesting. They were the first ones to start doing violence. They were stabbing tires and popping tires on cars parked on the streets and stuff. and then the cops came in and scared everybody away for a minute.
Denver is home to like the craziest freaking. The people are nuts because they get as much magic shrooms as they want nowadays. I don't know, but so
Everybody's telling me I'm doing.
when are we going to go to Kenosha and or when are we going to go to Wisconsin and protest outside of the Lawyers Association asking for Binger to get disbarred?
Never wary.
Yeah, I'm not flying to Kenosha.
No.
But
Guys,
he should go away for a long time.
So there's a Robert Barnes. He's a pretty prominent defense attorney on YouTube. He's one of the people I've been watching. He is absolutely pushing to have Binger disbarred. He said that there's quite a few lawyers in Wisconsin that are going to be pushing for it, and it absolutely should be. Hi guys. But I don't know about y'all, but I was at work today when I got the message, and me and my boss high-fived and celebrated for a little bit because we still have the right to self-defense.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Did we just get a whole team here? Wow, look at this guy popping in. You were invited.
A more important case that was decided today. I think it's Anthony Coffey.
Let's give Anthony the floor. He said he's just got a couple of minutes here.
I just got a couple minutes real quick. I mean, I think I've been kind of half watching on my phone and I've been watching this, but the cool part is that we are, and there's bad stuff. It sounds like some stuff in Denver, but as a whole, although people are still dumb as shit in terms of their ignorance, we're seeing conversation. Like this would not have been seen in the summer of love 2020. This complete disagreement and difference in ideologies we would not have seen then, but we're seeing it now. Again, there's some other shit going on, but not in the mass numbers. So I do think, although people are sitting behind their computer screens and saying like this is racism, there's an ESPN article out right now. I think the media is worse than the actual individuals. There's dumb individuals, but ESPN just wrote an article about how the Milwaukee Bucks, being close to Kenosha, are talking about how, as a league, this proves that we still have to be better and proves that we still, after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict, and it brings up the fact that it was a predominantly white jury that they believe, like, it's got nothing to do with it. And the fact that the media is going to perpetrate it, it's actually harder on the citizens, but the citizens are doing a decent job to at least have the conversations we're seeing above, even though the one guy could be fighting much harder against the black guy with the dreads. But I do think there's progress, and it's good to see. And I guess we'll see what happens later at night. I have to go to bed now, but I got to be up in about 5 hours. But yeah, so that's what I got.
I want to say, so we've been focusing in on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. There was another humongous case that was decided today. A man by the name of Andrew Coffey was found not guilty on, I think, 5 counts of first-degree murder. What happened is that SWAT raided his home, did a no-knock warrant, raided his home. He shot back. His girlfriend was shot 10 times and killed. They charged him with the death. And once he gave his testimony and once the defense heard it, the jury found him not guilty. He shot back at police officers that broke into his home, and he was found not guilty. Andrew Coffey is black, and there is not a peep out of the media about this case. He was self-defense in his own home. He was, like I said, found not guilty. And again, we are not hearing a single word about this in the media. It was just as important as Kyle Rittenhouse, because what this case established is not Kyle Rittenhouse established that you have the right to defend yourself on the street from violent, rioters. But this one established you still have the right to self-defense if the police break down your door in the middle of the night and try to shoot you. Which I think is just as important, because we do have the right to self-defense, not just against our fellow citizens, but against the government as well. And so there were 2 massive cases that took place today. And I just wanted to get the Andrew Coffey story out there, because I think this one is just as important as Rittenhouse, but because, I don't like bringing race into stuff, but you got to ask the question, why was this case not given as much media coverage, seeing as how it was a black man whose girlfriend was killed in his own home? He fired back at police, and I had remembered hearing about it a little bit when it first occurred, but I just found out that one was also decided today.
And so for someone to kill them and walk away from that,
and you got to ask the question, why the heck is it not being discussed? But
Yeah.
how long have you guys been watching the protest coverage tonight?
We've been going for about an hour so far. So it's not doing too bad right now, which is good. It's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean,
there is some vandalism and stuff like that that's happening. Oh, someone tried to light the door on fire. Where was this?
Someone tried to light
Getting a little
what on
wild
fire?
out there.
A door.
Oh. Have they
That
barricaded
the Kenosha-
streets inside their station and lit it on fire yet? Or is that just Portland?
Well, that's what I'm waiting for, is Portland to go
Not
nuts.
yet. We haven't got that report yet. Yeah.
Portland's about an hour behind. Portland's got to be going crazy. Is anybody on Twitter watching what's going on over there?
I got it up here. That's where I'm looking, but
Kind of
I don't see a
getting
whole
bits
lot
and
yet.
pieces. Yeah.
Let me. I'll check. I haven't been Where's my other account?
People coming at you, whether it's you guys or coming at us, being like, fuck you, I got my matter, or like, fuck you.
These people are silly.
So
to me.
little.
Coming from not a place of insulting your beliefs, but from a place of
I'm just, it's so interesting to watch people stand in a circle and lecture one individual. I'll go back to the question of what is the goal of accomplishment, and what is it they're seeking. That always seems to be part of the missing conversation that I never understood it.
I gotta say, you guys are amazing. Like, all of this is incredible.
All right, guys, I'm out. Catch you later. That guy looks super familiar in the black hat, little the glasses there. I feel like I've seen him at other things.
Maybe,
Anyways,
yeah.
Probably.
Take it easy,
Well,
guys.
thank you,
And,
Robert.
we'll
Have a good night.
find out in the morning if anything went down, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Get your beauty rest.
See you, buddy.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all. Are you guys just out here individually, or are you with a group? I mean, is there like no organization really?
Well, actually,
Is there a place where we could like, yeah?
Okay, so I'm part of a group called Leaders Igniting Transformation. Please don't sue me for this. I currently work as a college fellow, but basically what we are is...
Well, there's reports of shots fired in Portland 20 or 16 seconds ago.
But our platform is open to a lot
Oh, that's not surprising.
gender, sexuality and reproductive rights, infrastructure, education, criminal justice. We talk about a lot of things. But the biggest thing is that we're trying to get people to understand
Portland. So here's a good one.
happens to the community. It's based in Milwaukee. We have campuses all over Wisconsin. Go to a meeting. That's how
This one's kind of worried.
Literally everybody.
It's
everybody. It's about education.
Come, let's get together and try to find some middle.
It's
That's
about
amazing.
educating the community to come
To provide ballistic vests.
One more time where we can find it.
It's litwi.org, litwisconsin.org.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Seriously, guys, this has really been inspirational watching all of
You
this.
guys look at my TED Talk.
Absolutely.
It's called Healing Us, Healing America. It'll be
Really?
good. Maybe just take a mental note. It should be out soon. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Hey,
thank you so much. Thank you. No problem. I learned a lot today.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. Did you guys catch that? Like, people are trying to say that these killings were legal.
That was great to be a part of.
It's like ignoring the fact that he was defending himself is just incompetence.
Yeah. I don't find any feeds for Portland.
Yes, I would love to.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time. It seems like they're kind of keeping it off for some reason.
Oh, wait a minute. I might have something here. Let's try this.
And broadcast some of the meetings that you're doing. I think everybody needs to be a part of what you got going right now. It's beautiful. Absolutely. No, seriously. Like,
so
everyone around the country, like,
We're working on trying to find something in Portland we can pull up for you guys because we're getting some tentative, anecdotal reports of stuff going on there. We'll see what we can find.
Well,
let's find out.
that's the
So
one
Andy
place we
knows.
knew for sure.
Open up a lot of minds.
Is because they threatened it at the beginning, as they would Antifa Portland would riot tonight. And would riot after the verdict if Kyle Rittenhouse is found not guilty. So that's the one city that I feared would probably be the worst, especially since their governor and their leadership of that state is just awful. Oregon is one of the worst places.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like, it's really refreshing to see that there's at least this group here is being very peaceful. This is what we call for, but like,
You've done an amazing job, my friend. Of
the reason they're out there protesting is because of ignorance, not necessarily their own, but the fact that the ignorance of the media, either the ignorance or the malfeasance, one or the other, by the media class that has been propagating these falsehoods about who was killed and all this other stuff. They hear Black Lives Matter protests. They don't even bother to actually look into it. You saw the Young Turks. Anna Kasparian had to come out and say, look, I admit I was wrong, bloody freaking blah. It's like, you were calling this kid a white supremacist murderer for a year, and you basically admitted this week that you didn't even watch the video that was available 2 days after the event took place. You are culpable in all of this. The media, this all goes back to Jacob Blake. The Kenosha protests were started because of the media's falsehood about the Jacob Blake killing, right? Like, it was quote unquote a justified police killing. Myself, I always.
Jacob Blake's not dead.
He's not dead. I think he's wheelchair bound, but he's not dead.
He was paralyzed.
You're right on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it was the Jacob Blake.
It's been one of those common things, right? It kind of speaks to that narrative that gets drummed up in the media. We did a live a little bit earlier with Sunni, and we kind of talked about this. They want people confused. I touched on it a little bit earlier. So this comment real quick. I just pulled up. Yeah, we do want people to talk, and we want it to be peaceful. But when you're surrounded by 10 to 15 people, is that really talking, or is that just kind of a bully situation and looking for an opportunity to fight? I would contend that maybe it's both. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. They're not burning stuff down right now, but let's see how the night progresses.
And then folks are saying burn.
You want to see peaceful protests, even if they're wrong about it. But at the same time, like, it's the Jacob Blake shooting. They started calling it just an innocent black man getting shot, and they mentioned nothing about the fact that he was at his girlfriend's house where she had a restraining order against him because he digitally raped her. And he was back over there potentially committing violence, reached into his car for a knife, and got shot. Like,
how are you staying warm?
But that's not how it was reported in the slightest, because that's not what the media wants. They have a narrative. They have a narrative that it's like I think it's Michael Knowles said it. The supply of racism does not meet the demand of racism, so they have to create it where it doesn't exist. And so they create these narratives about Jacob Blake, which leads to mass protests, and violent riots in Kenosha, which ends up with the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. This is all started with media malfeasance, and these.
I'm like, I might as well. You really do.
This is media malfeasance, and
it's like it keeps you active. It's something to do.
They are weaponizing. They are actively weaponizing.
It's like that. Yeah, it's like that.
What I choose to believe are good, like, well motivated but very misinformed individuals that themselves are ready to accept a narrative that goes along with what they want to feel emotionally, and they weaponize the emotional response. As Jonathan Haidt says, they take control of rather than letting the rider guide the elephant, right? Rather than letting logic take over reason, they try to be the logic for your emotional response. It's as if it's as if someone else is coming in and taking the reins for the elephant and guiding it where they want and giving you no chance to do anything with it. And they just keep weaponizing, movements like Black Lives Matter and stuff to go against, to make themselves look foolish. They're making these people look foolish because they are so incorrect about why they are protesting. They look foolish to logical, rational people. And it's wrong. It's wrong to do that to these people because I genuinely believe they have good intentions in their heart. They just have zero idea how to actually act on those good intentions in a productive manner. And it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And of course, there are the people within these movements too that are just motivated for wrong reasons. But I think the vast majority aren't. And it's hopefully it's a really easy barometer to be able to look at your sources. And if they saw that video and did not think Kyle Rittenhouse was using self-defense, or if they spent a year trying to propagate these claims of white supremacy, racism, all these other things, murder, he wanted to cross state lines with the gun, even though he never did. That's an easy barometer. This is not someone I should listen to. They are clearly manipulating. They clearly have no care for the truth. They have no problem manipulating it, and it's someone else I need. There's someone else on my side that is better than them. Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kulinski, Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald. There are plenty of good people on the left that will be honest and will report the facts. And you want to know what they all have in common? They're all scum of the earth to the leftist media, because they're even worse than the conservatives because they are correct on the issues they need to be correct on for the same base, except they tell the truth as well as much as they know it.
We all know it doesn't matter if Kyle was found not
I think it's a pretty astute point. Junie, what you got?
People don't care if, there's videos showing he shot people in self-defense.
No black people were shot.
It doesn't matter.
These people look like fools.
So this one's over there. This one is in Seattle. Oh God.
To you right now, if I was streaming right now, and I pull my force multiplier out and shoot him in self-defense while he tries to attack me.
Dude, this feed is horrible. It was not that bad earlier. We'll go back here.
Did you hear what he was saying?
Barely.
This man's a lunatic. He's saying
same one I keep it.
Appears to be on the left. He's saying that he wants to get people to come after him so he can use his force multiplier and take some people out. Maybe he'll use his force multiplier.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's.
Otherwise, I'll cover
that feed's going nuts. I know.
Yeah, hit me up, bro.
I'll leave that alone for a minute.
But
Seattle's out.
Stream or whatever,
He's out with them.
We'll get it going. Oh, sounds good. Yeah, man. And then I'll dial me up and I'll let you know what's happening down here too. I'll see you, man. Be good, brother. Why are they all mounted up?
Because they're not going to go out and actually make sure the situation is taking care of itself. They're going to stay in their squad cars where it's safe. Just like they were doing on the night of the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting. The fault of that lies with the police. He had to run to a police line that was blocks away because he was in the violence and they weren't. Why we should have privatized police forces?
You guys are here all night?
Hell, bro.
So Kevin, you weren't here when we talked about this earlier. The daytime that you're seeing over here is in Australia. They're having huge protest. They're having huge protests today. Like a lot of people are out there protesting against COVID and vaccine mandates.
Against the tyranny over there, the petty tyranny.
Yeah. As you can see the signs here.
Right.
Australia has thankfully killed the Second Amendment debate in our country because.
All right, BCP's lab. I got you. I'll get there.
The people that have the guns now are not giving them up because we will not have that. and the cops
Right.
are not going to enforce it. You think the cops are going to start trying to take away guns when they know that as soon as it becomes known they're coming for guns? Do you think that they're going to start taking guns when they know behind every gun owner's door they're going to be pointing it at them? Like they're not going to enforce a gun. They're not going to take guns away because they care about their lives.
Right.
And they have the defense of it's their Second Amendment right. We're not taking their guns away.
Yeah. Is Chelly working in Chicago? I'm not sure. I'm not quite
Not
sure.
sure. Maybe we should
I
reach out
assume
to her
so
real
because
quick.
they told everybody to be ready to work this weekend.
Yeah.
That's the last I heard from her.
Yeah, she may also be off because of some recent loss in the family. So
I'm pretty sure Kenosha is very
not exactly
close to
sure.
Chicago.
You're pretty sure what about Kenosha?
I'm pretty sure Kenosha is very close to Chicago.
It's 45 minutes away.
Yeah, so it's closer. It's closer than Denver. So yeah, there's absolutely. I hope to God she's safe tonight.
Yeah, but Kenosha seems to be the calmest place.
Well, yeah, Kenosha is an open carry area, and it is in an open carry area in an open carry state that just had a decision where it said, "Oh yeah, if we attack the people with guns, they'll be allowed to use them."
Throws a little ice water on the.
Yeah, and I also think they're probably the people in Kenosha are probably the most educated because it was their community. They know exactly who died, which is why they were smart enough to at least have 3 white people in Superman suits on their protest signs, calling them heroes, and not,
Where the hell you
3 Black Lives Matter protesters.
What?
Is that Andy No on the bottom right?
Yeah, Portland, Andy. Yeah.
Mark. Yo, good luck, bro.
He was. I was trying to watch it.
You don't want no child support, dude. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. No child support.
And Antifa show up, and they're always there supporting Black Lives Matter. And they're all right for it, right? And in this case, it's my understanding that they were.
Yeah, it looks like this is a good thing. We're not seeing a whole lot, which is good. I thought we were going to see a lot more than this when I was hearing tires were being popped and police were engaging in Denver. I thought it was going to start going haywire, but I'm still bummed. I want to stream from Portland because Portland.
Let's check. I'm going to check Free Press Media News and see if we can.
I already got it. That's the
Oh, you
one
got
that
it.
the video quality is garbage. It's this
Glitching.
one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's trying, but he's not doing anything right now.
Okay, so
at least this one. I guess we can pull up BCP. We can pull up him. That's this top right corner right there. Let's go ahead and do that.
She can't show me because she's talking about evidence, but she can't show me how Kyle Rittenhouse wanted to kill people. They're saying that he wanted to kill people, which is not true. It's not even true. It's not even true. I just asked the question. I'm not arguing. I'm just asking a simple question.
Will's out there mashing the kids up, dude.
This is BCP,
Will's old.
the black conservative preacher. His stream. He's physically in Kenosha.
Let's see. I'll see what happens.
Doesn't live there, but he's there right now.
And I'm not white. I'm not white, and I'm not a liberal.
Does anybody think that this holds through the weekend? That it continues to stay relatively.
Word on the street
it's
is
clearly some demonstration, but anybody think that this is going to stay this way?
I think we'll see.
Just an open question.
They're telling
I think
the
Suni's
BLM.
gonna. Suni, you said it was probably gonna be nothing too much. You said it last week. It'd probably be nothing much. I think that this might be the extent because even I don't see what reason they'd have unless they're truly convinced that it was black victims. But at this point, there's no way you can think that, right?
That's what I think. I don't think there will be much of anything going on. You might have little pockets of maybe people just using this as an excuse to go loot something. And I heard there was looting in Chicago. But there's always something going on in Chicago, you know? So I don't know. I just don't think there's anything that's going to happen. I think this is the extent of what we're going to see.
Yeah.
There's no benefit.
No.
There's no benefit. Now, the other case, Ahmaud Arbery, if that goes in a direction that they don't like, they're gonna protest.
No, that came out today as well. That one's not going the wrong way. The judge basically put out a directed verdict. The defense's claim that there was lawful citizens arrest, totally thrown out. There is no defense there. These men are gonna, at this point, they're looking for a plea deal. Now that could get messy if they somehow get a really favorable plea deal.
If you were right there,
yeah, I think this is what we'll see.
Yeah.
If it pops off, it's gonna be because Antifa just wanted an excuse to go do something.
What about you, Casey? Do you think that this is going to be the extent of it, or do you think that there's the potential somewhere else it's going to get a little bit more aggressive?
Well, we're going to have to. The thing that I see with this is there's other things going on. For example, BLM has came out and spoke with and said to get out of Kenosha. Do not be in Kenosha tomorrow. Which makes me nervous. Like, what do they know?
They probably know it's not going to be protests. If anything, it's either going to be nothing or it's going to be full on riots.
Right. That's the only thing that makes me nervous is when I read something like that. It makes me think that there's more coming. Portland is not safe right now. I'm trying to find the stream. Steve from Citizen Stringers got one up, and it doesn't look like it's going well.
Portland hasn't been safe in a year now, over a year now.
But overall, I am impressed. Like, there was all kinds of stuff from Denver, Brooklyn, Oakland, LA, all kinds of stuff earlier before you jumped on, and it was just basic protesting, walking the streets and stuff like that, and nothing major. Denver, where things started going haywire is they were popping tires of cars that were parked on the street, and the cops came and got involved and kind of pushed them away and got them away, and then the cops just got on their trucks and drove away. I don't know what happened, but then all the streams for Denver went away, so I don't know if anything's still going on. But Portland is the one that I'm intrigued with because they did threaten it even before the decision was made, the verdict. And so they will always do something because they can get away with it. I honestly am surprised and happy that Kenosha is not on fire. I'm very pleased with that. And it turns out very well for them.
You know, I think this is also one of those situations where, you know, we should give credit where credit's due. And if most of these are, you know, just demonstrations, people have that right, and we support that right fully. We may disagree with their messaging, but, you know, as long as they're doing it in a way that is not one-sided and particularly not violent, you know, people have a right to be upset. Now, whether we agree on the facts, and I think that there's a lot of complicity in the media right now as far as spreading a lot of misinformation, and that's maybe why people are worked up. But if there are peaceful demonstrations, people have that right. And, you know, as long as they can keep them that way, you know, they deserve all of the opportunity to do so.
Agreed. Yeah, I
agree. Yeah,
I think overall it's going well, and I'm seeing more and more streams getting shut down, as in they're just calling it a night. So it's a good call.
I'm looking at Denver right now. I'm looking at a video where the cops came out. I know exactly where they're at. They're right next to the City Hall State Capitol area. It doesn't look like there's a very big crowd. It looks like a very small crowd. In fact, it looks like they've got more cops out there than, because the thing is that, dude, I'm not joking when I say Denver's got like 15 black people. It is not a very ethnically diverse place. Like the racial demographics are pretty close to Portland's. So the people that are I've been to protests in Denver to cover them for Liberty Revolt and stuff, and nothing happens half the time. Either they shut down a freeway and somebody gets run over and shot, or nothing happens.
It is
And-
clear.
No,
If I don't give you the response you want, if you don't give me the response I want, I can't sit there and say, well, you're
response I
you're
want.
It's very sad when they protest in Denver, because
not giving me the
it's
response.
like the BLM chapter is literally just a bunch of white people. And I'm
This is
just
my
like,
point. This is my point. You have a stance out here.
you're over here propagating their black the not the movement. You're here propagating the organization, which calls for the destruction of the nuclear family, which has destroyed more black families than the police ever will. And you're out here thinking you're doing it for the right cause. Like, no, you're not. But it's the protests are honestly pretty funny most of the time. Like, me and Bucky went to one like back in the summer, and it was they had a bunch of like fake cemetery fake tombstones and stuff like that up with the name with names of black people that have been shot. And me and Bucky and I walked up to someone and go, so where's all the tombstones for all the black children that were aborted this year? Because you're missing about 500,000. And they didn't like that joke. But I know exactly where they're at. I'm talking because I'm watching a bunch of videos in Denver right now, and I know exactly where they're at. And the protest looks exactly like the ones we've seen. It's not a big protest, but you're gonna have there's some freaking nut jobs in Denver. I'm not joking. So there are some really crazy Antifa people. They've threatened when we were doing our Charlie Kirk event and our Don Jr. event up here. They were legitimate. The police had to tell us, hey, we're seeing some legitimate death threats online towards you guys. From Antifa chapters. And I was like, I had one of these guys. I think I've told this story before, but maybe not. I had an Antifa guy come up to me on our Second Amendment day when I was having a full-blown conversation about how much I love guns and how I live with 2 other veterans and how well, at the time it was only one, and how we love our guns and we shoot our guns and we have fun with our guns. And an Antifa guy comes up to me, like, he was wearing a BLM, white dude with a BLM mask, and he goes, it wasn't a BLM, it was a BLM shirt at the time, like, not a mask. I'm like projecting what we saw later the night, because they were wearing masks at a time when masks weren't allowed at the event, although there weren't many. And he comes up, he goes, you better hope I don't know where you live, or I don't find out where you live. And I was just like, dude, did you hear my conversation? Did you not hear me talking about how much I love guns and how much I enjoyed shooting guns when I was in the Army? Dude, you better hope you don't know where I live. Like,
so he was here to protect.
Yeah.
But these people are crazy, man. They don't think. There's some people that are just unhinged. Like the guy that tried to physically assault us, earlier in the semester, physically assaulted one of our girls and was telling me to attack him and beat him up and basically Rittenhouse him. Except I was the one with the gun. He had the fist fight, and I didn't pull mine out because I saw no need to. But it was a different situation. I wasn't fully confronting a convicted child sodomizer. I was confronting a kid who was having a very obvious mental breakdown. It was of no threat.
Those are 3 people that he gunned down.
Okay, if he was just
so there's some crazy ass people over here.
And I'm gonna let you. You gonna talk, and I'm gonna let you. Because you keep interjecting with these views, brother.
We'll have 2-way conversation. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you talk.
I'll talk. Let me ask a question.
No, okay, let me ask this one question then. Okay.
You're not letting me respond.
He shoots these 3 white males, and you say that they're family members.
You said that they're one person. You said he didn't shoot people.
He shot these 3 white males, and you said that.
I love this dude, by the way.
And if he was just here just to shoot general people, why didn't he shoot any black people that night?
Because they weren't in his vicinity.
Seriously? So what about the video where the black dude jumped and kicked him in the head while he was down on the ground?
That was after he did what he did.
You can tell the dude in the Rastafarian hat is an old head.
When the black dude dropped and kicked him in the head.
He missed that guy.
Well, lucky for him. If you drop kick someone you in the head, are you gonna handle them?
Wait,
Think about it. Think about it.
So
if someone drop kick him in the head, he's gonna be upset about it too.
The irony in this is really important for us to hit. I'm just really, so the irony here is that you're saying that Kyle came across the border to protect property but not life, right? That's what you're saying, correct? But ended up taking a life when there was nobody vandalizing property. The people that he killed had nothing to do with vandalizing property. He wasn't doing that.
How do you know that? They were already talking about he was burning stuff. They were.
There's video evidence before he even fired his
from
gun.
out of town wearing a skimpy
chasing him,
skirt
them
and
bashing
a
in
very
windows.
revealing blouse, and was walking down. She was walking down. Walking through a protest with a gun on her hip, and when she got attacked, she fired back. She came from out of state. Did she see what she was wearing? It's like how the victim blaming it to me is just absolutely hilarious. It's like, how can you guys be so oblivious?
Yeah, this is just.
But you can see
this
in the
guy,
video, the mob
for
was
the
taking
record,
before
so
the
you know,
police.
Kevin, this guy with the glasses and the chain. He's an attorney that is very close with the Jacob Blake family.
They were chasing him because they wanted to.
He was talking after the Rittenhouse verdict and was talking about how Black Lives Matter and all of this garbage stuff, and that's how I know who he is.
From the
So
prosecutor.
the dude in the Pastafarian hat is a total. He's a total like stud over here. Just because if this guy's especially if this guy's a defense attorney in the sunglasses at night, by the way, like it's sunglasses and it's night, bud. Like why? And that haircut, dude. That hair, like, what is that haircut? Is that does he have dreads, or did he does he have a fade on top and dreads in back?
They also recalled and said that they weren't needed as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on, which is good. We'll see if it continues tomorrow. I don't know if there's a whole lot of content for us to keep going.
But Will Johnson there, though, like if the
Portland,
line
if
of
you guys wanna
questioning
see
he was
Portland.
proposing, like on point. That is like top notch Socratic method right there.
You got a Portland one? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
so that's a recorded video. I want live. I can see it live.
Recorded? Oh,
Yeah.
I see it right there.
I have that, but what I see on the screen right now. So I'll pull up Citizen Stringer real quick. Shout out to Steve, with Citizen Stringer.
Okay,
it's just amazing.
Who sent this? This
Misty.
is from 2020.
Was it?
Oh, that's Summer of Love. That's just a bunch of love you're seeing there, Snooney. They lit the fire of love in the middle of the street on the police car. I'm trying to find see if there's any newer ones from Denver right now.
So this is Citizen Stringer. This is a stream from Portland. This is what I was trying to find. Is this stream?
PBB alerts, please monitor that channel. Fetor Maflaflus on Twitch, 200 bits, thank you. PB event messages, let's see what they're saying. A crowd is gathered near Second Avenue.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like in Portland, it's only 9 o'clock on a Friday night over there. Like, there's a lot of potential for some wild behavior. I think that this is just ridiculous that this is what we've come to. When the left doesn't get the verdict they want in the courts, they're going to go out like...
Yeah. And act a fool.
Yeah, we're supposed to be able to be insured, like... We're supposed to be able to trust the jury of our peers because that's the same jury of our peers that is going to be trying us. Do we want our jury to know that, like, if we are accused of something falsely, that
what
all
are
it
they
will take
doing?
is some kind of negative attention on the media, and the jury's going to have to worry about our city burning to the ground if they don't go with what the left wants?
So where are police in this situation?
So to give you an update, like, so that door right here, this door you see right here, was opened not long ago, and they got it open, and then police officers were on the other side.
Is that the,
And so
is
now
that
it's
the
closed
police
again.
station?
Portland police have declared it a riot, according to Asphalt Pirates. So are they
Asphalt
downloading
Pirate.
streaming?
Yeah, that's.
I think that's a
probably where
Twitch.
it is.
That's a Twitch. He's on Twitch right now, but let's look it up for. Let's look it up.
I was
here,
on
but-
Twitch.
He just
I didn't
watches
see
the same
anything there.
streams.
But the thing
Well,
is
they
it's
were
probably
on
not
Twitch,
named
right?
anything.
That's where they live streamed.
We gotta put.
Can't imagine they wouldn't be live streaming it, right? Blank man, I missed your contribution. Thank you.
Oh man, Danny's back.
Oh, the Antifa event is a no camera event,
He's
guys.
live. That's crazy.
I wonder what's going on there.
Wow.
I just saw this tweet from Antifa Watch. Hashtag Antifa event in Portland declared a riot. Not much way in the video as it's a no camera event. Due to
Well, there's a
violence-
camera.
There is?
Yeah, I've got.
We're watching it right
Portland,
now.
Tweeted
hell yeah.
1 minute ago, due to the violent, destructive behavior by a significant part of the crowd, the gathering at downtown Portland.
Yeah,
is
but they don't. Yeah, no, they're not letting people. I'm assuming people who bring cameras to the crowd that we're seeing are going to get
Hey, so I have
removed
a question.
by
I
the
bet
the
you guys have
protesters
emails. I'm not sure
violently.
if you're still listening. Don't comment in the chat. Do any of you live in Portland, and you would be willing, when this is done, to go take some photos of the damage? If you will, and you have a good camera to do it, message me. Okay, Seattle streamer, the guy just apologized to give you a shout out on CS. All right, cool, thanks. If anyone is in Portland and you're willing to, when this is done, not right now, unless you really want to go out now and get some footage. If you live in Portland, if you would go and take pictures, we'll write an article on this riot, and I would like to get pictures of the damage. There's Mini Tifa. He's underneath my overlay. You see him in the wheelchair spinning around like a little crackhead. But I would like pictures. I'll pay you.
These people are crazy, man.
Someone said,
Yeah.
do a contact if anything happens. You would be like, why would anything happen if it happens afterward?
Right.
Does that make sense? If it happens after, like if you go and photograph after this is done, like later tonight, if you'd be willing to go down,
Oops, sorry.
someone does it, and you
You're
have a
good.
PayPal address. I'll pay.
I'm
you
still trying to find the
$150
stream.
To go down and take photos of it when it's done.
I would really like it, but I can't
$150.
find it anywhere.
Only one person though. I don't need 5 million people need it. Sergeant try.
They're censoring a lot of the footage.
You can email them.
Yeah,
I'm not saying go down now. I don't want people going down now. Then a stream on Messenger.
I think the media recognizes this is a second chance for a level of credibility, so they're going to try not to. Because here's the thing: when you're calling riots mostly peaceful protesters, you're telling the people participating you'll get away with it because we'll cover for you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the recent polling data was so horrible for the Democratic side. You know they were pulling people's side and was like, okay, so you're going to start calling these riots, right?
Yeah,
You're going to
I
stop
just-
calling them
I
mostly
want
peaceful
exclusive
protests because
And
we
we'll write it
don't
in
want to
the
lose
story
every fucking seat in the House in 22
If
and
anyone lives
24.
in that area, when it's safe,
It's all
after
politics
this is all
at the end of the day.
Look how I don't know where the rest of the Antifa scumbags went. There's Mini Tifa right there.
Antifa scumbags.
There's Mini Tifa. They got the door shut too, because I guess the riot squad came out and scared him away. Is there-
Protest list.
I found it.
Be the change. There you go. That's better. Are they really down there playing the drums? Like, for real? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is honestly, it's a good thing. I'm glad cities are not really burning.
What
Yes,
time is it?
Let's
it was
not
interesting
forget.
to cover last year. It was interesting.
It's only
to cover
9.
when
It
that
is
was
only 9:15 in Portland.
That's
right
what I
now.
was just about to say. It's still early.
Yeah, like it's a Friday night at 9:15, and these people have nothing else to do with their lives.
We were up until like last year when we covered riots. it was like 2, 3 in the morning, and these people were going nuts.
Yeah, so they're already declaring it. The police is declaring it a riot. I feel like this isn't like is this the epicenter of their protests, of their riots? Do we know?
It's got to be. You got the wheelchair guy from Portland area right there.
He's hiding. That's crazy that he's got to hide, man.
Well, because Kevin mentioned it earlier. They don't want cameras there. Because that's how, like, I mentioned it earlier in the quick show that I did, I believe, or the beginning of this. The cameras and the independent media and people with cell phones are the reason why Kyle Rittenhouse had such a solid case. There was so much video evidence of it. But
this guy should really turn his phone off when he moves.
Or flip it around and show his face.
He almost did there. Shouldn't be showing his face. I mean, at this point now, he's basically got a body cam because if somebody's going to come assault him, he's going to need this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going. Is he going to get in a car?
Don't show us your license plate, bro.
Well, we know what car he drives. That's his car. Oh, he's going over to the edge.
He's getting a better view.
Somebody said shh in the chat. Shh. F12. I just want to know what this is doing for these people. I really do.
It's doing nothing.
You got guys in the middle there in their own riot gear and stuff. Like that's not how you come to a protest.
Where is Sullivan when you need him?
Right?
Like,
yeah, this is a.
I think it's just this one's just getting started. It looks like
this is what's expected from Portland, though. In my mind.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh.
Minister Khalid Muabel. You got
Anthony's out there too.
this guy's ballsy, man. Like
the only city we have anything going on in is Portland, and that's what we're watching right now. There's still conversations going on outside the courthouse, but they're just people talking.
I feel like there's a lot of no camera events going on. That's if the biggest Antifa chapter is doing it in Portland, they pass that message on because while it's decentralized, that doesn't mean it doesn't communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to this, I don't know if it's going to get much worse.
I don't know, man. It's like it's only 9:20, and you have people in the middle there that are in full blown riot gear. One of them looked like he had like either a pepper spray canister that was going off, or he had like the beginnings of a smoke. Like, look at those people in the middle of the screen there, in the crosswalk.
Yeah,
like, those people are prepared for some shit. But it's all about, are they going to get the numbers? I think that's going to be their ultimate calculation is, are we going to get the numbers necessary? And if they can't get the numbers for this, I don't think anybody's going to get the numbers.
There's a fire, or is that taillight? I think that was a taillight.
Like, you got people there in riot gear, dude.
Yeah, they are in riot gear.
Well, that's fine. That's the way Antifa runs anyways.
No, but that's what it is though. Is
Andrew,
that like
monitoring the chat?
That's not this. I think they're waiting to see how many numbers they're going to get tonight, and that's going to determine just how violent they get because they know they have strength in numbers, but that's not enough there.
I have an idea of what the EAT stands for, but I'm sure I'll get a better chance to understand it, you guys.
Who's this dude?
I guess after 14 months straight of doing this, they learned how to dress for the occasion.
They figured it out.
Emma, I don't think so. I just looked it up by the address. It looks like it's more downtown than necessarily near the airport. What time is it in Portland now? It's 9:21.
Make a decision.
They're West Coast.
I think I am. Gotta make that decision.
No way. Portland's West Coast?
So the
Well,
decision
somebody
that
was
I'm-
asking what time is it.
Well,
Well, they might not know about certain
no, I'm
time
not gonna
zones.
move yet.
They can know where it's
He
at.
eventually will come through and move.
West Coast time zone.
This crowd.
See, I
kind
don't
of-
think they have the numbers to be able to pull off anything
This
that they
crowd
really
here
want to
blocking
do.
traffic into the station here.
Portland usually comes out pretty strong. This is a weak crowd
I'm not
for
sure
them.
what's going
Yeah, but it
on.
looks like it's been growing, man.
Yes.
Like
seems
it
to
seems
be
like people are
facing the
trickling
direction
in. So I'm in. I don't know.
police.
It might not turn into much, but like that's the thing though. Is that if nothing happens in Portland, nothing's gonna happen anywhere.
I could agree with that.
Communication here,
Sure.
yes.
I need to figure out a way to wash this hat in a way that doesn't freaking ruin its form.
Oh, it's
Take
easy.
it to the dry cleaner.
Yeah. Unless you have a newer washer. If you have a newer washer that has a super delicate setting like mine does, that's what I would do. That's what I do.
All right, well, I'll just take it to the dry cleaner. Shit.
I do. Just let them handle it. They're the experts.
Right?
I will do what I can.
Somebody just said, I really think you need to have me on your show with a thinking face. And I said, why?
Have your beaver.
What do you mean? Has anybody ever said that to you, Kevin? I think you should have me on your show.
I'm like, here's the thing: is if I don't ask you on my show pretty quick,
100% USA.
every interesting person I meet, basically, most of them at least. Like I have a radio show I do every Saturday. Every interesting person I meet at Colorado State or in Northern Colorado, I invite on my show. You don't have to ask me to come on. I'll ask you. And if I don't ask you,
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
Liberty is right.
Kenosha's really dialing down. It looks like people are signing off in Kenosha.
good. That's good. That is a good sign. We cannot. It's one thing to let the media lie to us, but we can't let the media divide us.
Right.
And we can't let. I think that it's a really good sign that the media's narrative is kind of crumbling right now. Because I am firmly in the belief that there is a ruling elite class, or it's a combination of three classes. Yeah, four. Sorry, the intellectual, political, cultural, and economic.
Yeah.
And they work together, but I think there is some kind of cabal. Its name is Bilderberg in Davos. But at the end of the day, it's not like these people are somehow magically more competent than anyone else, any other group of people.
Is the idea.
It's not like, you're not going to have the dumbasses that think that they are the Machiavellian messiah and, they're just Kamala Harrising their way to the top with seeing how, never mind. I won't go there entirely.
So I'll give you guys a point of reference.
But, you get what I'm saying. It's like, it's not like the cabal at the top is filled with people. And sure, there's people that are rich and they did it because they're incredibly brilliant, but there's also people that are rich because they got there by accident.
Run by the
And,
sheriff's
or they
department,
inherited it or something else.
County.
And
How does one building known as
not
the
everybody
Justice
is competent there.
Right now, there are inmates inside these windows here.
What?
Inmates?
This is the Justice Center, I guess, in Portland.
Oh, that makes
I
perfect
was about to
sense.
say,
I was like, I thought he was, because like when he said that, it hadn't caught up. And so he was just showing that that office building across the street. I was like, what the fuck?
Burn it down.
Oh, so that's a
Just to remind
prison.
everybody that this is a
Yeah,
jail.
that's where all the cops
There are
are.
a lot of people inside this jail.
Or it's a jail. And there is a difference.
So it's also a pretty solid concrete marble fortress. So the idea of burning
What about
it down,
Hawk Newsom? You know,
pretty
Hawk Newsom
ridiculous.
threatened
A lot of
to
time.
burn things down if Rittenhouse got a not guilty verdict.
I have not seen anything from him at all.
Huh.
What's
Oh,
really
you know
funny,
what?
Bob stopped in our
Instagram is
time.
another good place to look for these things.
Ooh, I'll hop on Insta and see if I can find
Let's see.
anything.
They sound like fucking psychopaths. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. What's old?
Let's see. Okay. Oh, there was some big, huge riots in Rotterdam today.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wild. Holy crap. Yep.
Thank you, Critter. You guys, the support's pouring in. I appreciate you guys all so much. I really do mean this. I'm glad to be able to provide you guys some content, something of value that you guys might find value. For the longest time, I was just so jaded with the way that the world was working. You know, like I said, it eventually got to the point where I was just working for the billionaire on the left. You know, people would ask me, what campaign are you working for or on right now? And I just tell them the billionaire on the left. And I found that politics and activism was a pretty shitty thing, but what I really liked was helping people. So I stayed in it for a little bit, got out of it, did some community garden building, some other things like that in the community, and then filming the police led to this level of corruption that's just unreal. We were talking about sex, drugs, and guns earlier, and the explicit markets that are created for whatever reasons, but are exploited.
Wow, they rioted earlier today. I mean, they started looting.
Even now streaming
In New York City, they looted.
14 minutes.
Is this now?
Yeah, dude, New York.
Bro.
It's only 12:30 in New York.
A couple people seem to be.
Yo, are they look at this?
What the? They're looting. What the fuck?
They're looting. I'm trying to find where this is.
From way up here.
I'm trying to
looting.
I'm trying real hard to find some of these.
Be safe out there. What? This is nuts. So this was in New York, and it's pushing nighttime. So this was clearly earlier in the day. They probably got shut down.
Are you talking about the protests where they were walking across the bridge and stuff?
No, they're in the downtown. Looks like a shop area. They're busting in the stores. Banana Republic.
Matters, and I'll fight.
Looks like a Nike store.
Of course, it's a Nike store.
Doesn't mean that people come anyway. I just hope that
Jordans are worth a lot on eBay. A lot of people made a lot of money off of free Jordans this year. Oh, who are those people that are up there with them? It's weird. Stay safe there, bud.
Rebecca, this is up in Portland. Let's see if I can find any others. Oh, woke.net is back up.
It is.
Yeah, that's a different view. Where is that? What? They have a whole different.
pro-citizen, Sheila.
Oh, I see what they did.
I'm invested in the city of Portland and the people here.
I don't know. Does that crowd look like it's growing, or does it just look like it's kind of
It
stagnant?
looks,
It looks the
It looks,
same.
yeah, I was just gonna say, it looks the same to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say my eyes are kind of playing a trick on
Oh,
me.
Lefty, so much. Cute. Look at that cute little California car.
I don't even know where this is. This is from woke.net, which is one that I followed religiously last year.
You try Unicorn Riot?
No, woke.net.
California license
Black Zebra production is live.
At that.
Snack Squad is good too.
Yeah, Snack Squad. That's Mercota.
Yeah.
Mercadia. I can never. I said it right earlier today.
Oh, all three.
Mercada Media.
Oh, they just packed in my
Yeah.
car.
And shout out to him. He's changed a lot. Last year he was super liberal.
Oh yeah.
And this year, and now he's come back and he's like, "I'm not voting for red or blue anymore." He said that in his
Oh
video.
snap! I'm shocked. He's a raving fucking liberal.
And they have police blocking off.
So he was super liberal last year, from what I remember. I could be wrong, but I was following all of his stuff from these riots
Have you
too.
seen CHP again? Besides these motorcycles?
Where's this?
No. That bike squad? One bike squad? They probably had to cap it up.
I want to see a license plate.
They have they do state property.
Yelling Black Lives Matter, of course.
Where is this?
6
Is this New York?
H744 Citizens California license plate.
Well, that's a truck full of officers.
Sheesh.
Put that window up.
Yep.
You don't want to be on film.
Where is this?
What?
Where? I wish I can get a good glimpse at the license plate. Oh, here comes some.
I would say traumatizing and dangerous.
Officers on
but
bikes.
I guess interesting is another adjective for sure.
Uh-oh.
There's CHP.
CHP?
Mr. and Mrs.
CHP.
Mrs. I don't know
Oh,
how
that's
What is CH?
California Highway Patrol.
Yeah,
This is in Cali?
Yep.
CHP roll up.
I'm trying to see a
Yeah, they're
license
all
plate. So
California.
fucking
Those
hard
are
to view.
those are California license plates.
Okay.
California's got they have the big long numbers because they go all the way across the whole license plate.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
so
I'm
many
saying.
fucking people. I'm trying. This looks familiar.
I'll be right back.
I'm trying to figure out where they're at. Let's see if I can read one of the signs because I think it's L.A.
Yeah, they were protesting in LA for another person that got shot on
this is
Tuesday.
LA.
His
This is
name's
LA.
Alex Flores, and I don't know anything about that situation from Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's what they're protesting.
Yeah, that's California Highway Patrol. Why are they on fucking bikes?
Because they're downtown. It's just easier to get around.
No, but that's the thing is that's not California Highway Patrol's beat, man. That's the LA County Sheriff's job. Or the whatever county. CHP does not get out on bikes.
Depends on how they're structured, man.
I literally never saw that in my entire life when I lived there. That's how understaffed they are right now.
You have it happening here in Utah occasionally too.
But I'm telling you, that's. Oh my God. Creighton? What was that street? I couldn't read it. So blurry.
Well, it's California.
LA.
Give it
That's
30
LA.
seconds and we'll be at another street.
Yeah, it's LA.
Is this LA?
Yeah.
So this is for the Alex Flores shooting on Tuesday. What this is. This is nothing to do with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay.
See.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, there's other streams showing this and saying it's Sacramento. It's
Is it
not
Sacramento? I could have sworn that looked like LA. It looks so familiar to me, man.
I don't see bums on the street in tents. So that's why I would think it's not LA.
It looked.
Look at all of those bike cops. Wow.
Well, if it's Sacramento, then that makes more sense because that's the capital.
There's a long way. Oh, they can go down there. That's why. Nice. Okay, let's go.
I could have sworn that was LA. So Alex Flores was shot in 2019, but it's like the 1 year or the 2 year anniversary.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mhm.
Okay. They said something about Tuesday. Yes, Zach, you got it right. Nice.
Yeah, so apparently Alex Flores had a knife. A citizen flagged down a cop and said, "There's a man coming down the street with a knife." A police officer approached him, told him to put it down. The guy refused. Was told to put it down several times.
Yeah, you can
Flores
definitely
ran
do that.
towards
We're
the
not
officer
reforming the crowd.
and was
As
shot.
y'all know, they've been using footage of all kinds to incriminate folks, and we're just hella not down with
Interesting.
that. So we're definitely, I don't know if y'all saw the post we made, we're changing our tactics of we're going to be out here cop watching.
There was
today,
reports of it, Cheryl, but not a whole lot.
switching up from maybe what y'all I'm really used to, but we're not about to be helping the cops incriminate people. We're not down with that shit. So,
I didn't even consider Sacramento. The reason why I thought it was LA was honestly because of the trees and some of the architecture on that one building.
anybody have eyes on who's
But San
helicopter
Francisco
that is?
doesn't look like that.
Who cares on whose helicopter it is? It's not the FBI using a drone like they used in Kenosha.
Yeah, that should
and
that
no
should
one
really
talks
be
about
the
it.
takeaway from this case is that the fucking FBI was doing aerial surveillance on American citizens. Like
With a
Is it
drone.
a full moon? Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I was too busy with the helicopter.
That's the one thing that I'm like, no one wants to talk about this topic.
yeah, like excuse me.
Okay, it's gotta pee.
I guess I need to just subpoena the FBI's records every time anything goes down.
Right? Aw. All these people with their electric scooters. That's cute. But so far tonight, it's looking good. Even Portland is not... It's still the same. It looks like there's maybe a few extra people, but they probably are just all moving around in the same area. Oh, they're lighting a
What's
fire in
going
the
on
street.
here? Okay, I'll give you that. There is no description.
Let me mute
'cause I'm not
this.
giving out any location.
Let's turn back on the audio here. Fire in the street. All right. Well,
The salt must flow. Happy 420, you guys. We got 421, 22 viewers in the chat. If we get to 420 likes, that would be awesome. That would make me so happy. So happy. It would be awesome. We got 425 people watching. That's awesome, guys. So high in Portland. For the people that are new, the I stands for independent. So I try not to be labeled SOH, son of Hightower, lowercase I. Son of Hightower, lowercase I.
not to my knowledge.
So
I didn't see anything in Philadelphia tonight.
Celebration.
That's true.
Oh, fuck you, Kyle. Got it.
He's cool. Yeah, see, this is the stuff I would expect from Portland. Starting to start fires, doing things like...
Oh, look, it's a fire!
Yeah.
Guys, we see we have the first flame. Well, the first.
Where's Kyle Rittenhouse with his fire extinguisher?
Fire.
All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe. Make sure the notification bell is hit so you know when we go live. We do go live regularly and very randomly, but regularly here inside the anarchist jurisdiction. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. So what we're going to do right now is just take a little quick break. I will catch you guys later.
Oh no. He's shutting down his stream. That's not good. I want to see what's going on in Portland. Oh, fine. We'll go back to Sacramento. This girl's video quality is horrible.
Pretty lights.
Are they? Is that the LRAD?
No. No. Ooh. Okay. Hope everybody's having a good.
What are we protesting?
Friday.
We all wonder the
It's
same
chilly
thing.
out here.
This area in
myself.
Sacramento, they're protesting for Alex Flores. This is not Oakland. This is in Sacramento.
But Alex Flores was killed in. Never mind. Whatever.
Well, yeah, but I don't get it. I saw everything down.
And we are stopping.
Everything in California was tied to Alex Flores.
Oh, that I guess it's almost a 2-year anniversary, but apparently the video backed everything up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking
looks cool.
This is
I
good.
can do this.
We're not seeing anything. We're just seeing people protest and talk, which is fine. We're not really seeing much going on. I'm happy about that. Very happy that I was wrong. I was expecting riots to go nuts tonight. But it's looking like there's not much. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm thinking we can call it for the evening and just see what happens next.
That's fine.
I don't, since we lost our Portland stream, and that's kind of tough because Portland's the only place that seemed to have any action of anything going on. You have everybody still walking through the streets and doing their protesting, their peaceful protesting, actual peaceful protesting, which I applaud. They did well.
Good for them.
With the exception of a few places in Denver where they were popping tires of cars sitting on the street.
There were actual arrests made.
But yeah, there was. They jacked. If I recall correctly, we watched it. It was like 3 people packed up and hauled away quickly and just left.
Good.
But so far it looks good. Portland, there's not much going. There's some going on, but we just lost our only feed for that area.
Yep.
No one else is over there broadcasting because they were trying to get it as a no camera event. But overall, I'm very proud of Kenosha. They came out. There's not a confrontation, but a conversation outside of the courthouse, and just between people that supported Kyle and people that were Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
And we had a civil conversation, not we, but people actually had a civil conversation out there. And that's important. That's showing that things are changing, that we can actually do that now. And we got to keep encouraging that mentality of we can talk about our differences. We don't have to agree, but we can talk about our differences. And that's how we can come up with solutions. Blaming the other side and saying the other side is completely wrong and then they're just going to dig their heels in and do the same.
Yep.
So,
yeah, keep up the good work, America. Don't let the fucking shit stirs ruin a good thing. So,
no, not at all. Don't do it.
Thank you, everyone, for. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead and wrap it up.
I was say thank you, everyone, for sticking around. Like, really appreciate it. We had a really good following for basically the whole 2 hours, and. You know what? I know some of us were hoping for some. I was kind of looking. I was kind of like, oh, is shit gonna be popping off? Not because I wanted it to, but like, I figured if it was gonna, it would be entertaining to watch a little bit. Tragically entertaining. But I am really happy to say that it wasn't. And thank you guys for sticking around with us. And I hope you guys are just as pleased by the lack of violence and destruction as we are.
Absolutely. Well said.
Yep.
I don't know where Suni went.
Suni, you there?
I don't know if she's there. But yeah, of course it was fun covering this stuff last year when Suni and I did so many late nights covering this stuff and started coming up with funny nicknames for all of these weird people doing this stuff. But overall, I'm impressed. I have to say, I'm proud of America right now. You can go out and voice your opinion, protest peacefully, and do it the right way. And it looks like so far tonight, that's the way it's being done, other than the few little fires that were lit in Portland. But there doesn't seem like there's enough people to cause any major harm there. So we'll call it a night. Everyone, you guys have a great evening. You'll probably hear from me. I'm going to probably look into this a little bit more tomorrow, since Kenosha Black Lives Matter told everybody, all of the Black Lives Matter people, to get out of Kenosha for tomorrow night. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, because that doesn't sound good in my mind. It seems like they got some information that is not really out there. So I hope that's not the case. I hope it's for other reasons. They're just saying there's no need.
I do too.
But we'll see, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you guys later.
Everybody take care. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.